Hi everyone, it's John from What Up, and welcome back to another video. Today we have some really exciting news for Wheel of Time Wednesday, and that is the release date for Season 2 of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show. We also have a whole bunch of pictures that came along with the article that just premiered in Entertainment Weekly, and we're going to talk about them and how they fit into Season 2. And they also gave us a little synopsis of what we can expect for Season 2, which may or may not give away a few more things than they anticipated. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know what we do here, we cover Wheel of Time show news, so pretty much everything to do with the Wheel of Time. So we talk about here, from the mundane to the fantastical, from the official to the rumor. That's what we do on this channel. If you like that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the like button if you do like the videos I'm making. Now, I have been saying for quite some time I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers before the release of Season 2. Now we have a date for that. So September 1st, Season 2 is coming out. Trying to hit 20K before then, so if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of the video, I do have to give a bit of a spoiler warning because we're talking about Season 2 of the show. So I'm going to do a little bit of speculation on each of the photos I'm going to show that were in the Entertainment Weekly article, and how they're going to fit into the story and who the actors, actresses are in some of them, because we don't really know for sure officially who some of them are yet, but we can kind of guess. Now, all of that being said, spoiler warning, in today's video we're talking about elements of Season 2 of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show. If you haven't seen the first season, that's episodes 1 through 8 on Prime Video right now. And if you haven't read the first 3 books, that's The Eye of the World, The Great Hunt, and The Dragon Reborn, be forewarned, I may ruin minor plot points and character arcs from both of those mediums. Alright, that being said, let's get on to the video. Alright, so September 1st, folks, we have a date. I'm pretty excited. I don't know about you folks, but I was guessing much later in the year, like November. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm really excited that it's the first week of September. I know what I'm going to be doing that week. A whole bunch of videos for you folks, breakdowns, Easter eggs, reviews, you name it, I'll be doing it. And I have not heard anything about a premiere yet. But I am hoping they do another premiere like they did with Season 1, although I don't believe it's as likely with second and third seasons of shows to do premieres like that. It was just a big thing for Season 1. But who knows? Maybe they will, or maybe they will do something special to commemorate this. I really hope we hear about this sooner or later. And I think it's going to be sooner because with the September 1st release, we're looking at the Media Blitz starting essentially now, along with this article, starting it from Entertainment Weekly. So over the cons, the big cons that are happening this summer, we'll likely see teasers and trailers and more interviews, maybe some castings and other things kind of put out in the open about Season 2. The only thing putting a wrinkle into this is the writer's strike. Now, I fully support the writers and I hope they get fair compensation. However, Rafe Judkins is part of the writers' union, I believe, because it does have writing credits on a lot of different things, including Season 1 of The Wheel of Time. He has alluded to it on Twitter that he will not be promoting the show. So basically anybody who's part of the writer's strike is not promoting the shows they're on as part of the strike. That puts a little bit of wrinkle into this, but I imagine they're going to be promoting the hell out of the Wheel of Time Season 2 in the next coming months. So there's that. Now, this article is from Entertainment Weekly. I left a link to it down below in the description box if you folks want to take a look at it. You can read through it when you're done. It's basically going to have all the pictures I'm going to show here and talk about in the channel, or on the channel today. And there is a little bit of a synopsis about Season 2, along with some other stuff about talking about new faces, like the new character, the new actors playing Matt, things like that. So not a whole lot of new information other than this, and this is a direct quote from the article. Having learned that he is in fact the Dragon Reborn, Rand has gone into hiding so he won't harm his friends. If he descends into madness like previous incarnations of the dragon did. His mentor, Moiraine, has now lost her connection to the One Power and her emotional relationship with Daniel Henney along with it. While Moiraine returns to her hometown of Kyrienen, Egwene, Madeline Madden, and naive Zoe Robbins begin their Aes Sedai training in order to learn how to control their access to the One Power. Now that's pretty exciting because it does confirm some things that we already knew. We knew we were getting in Kyrienen in Season 2. That was pretty much a given at this point. We believe that most of the Kyrienen scenes were probably filmed in Italy when they filmed there for Season 2, at least I think so. But knowing that Moiraine is heading there is kind of a big deal because Varen Sedai was in Kyrienen at one point or another with Rand during the Great Hunt. So I'm wondering if maybe they meet up there and that's where she's going to get some guidance from Varen. Now, I'd always thought that she'd go to Varen's hut in the middle of nowhere and Varen would take over the place of the two older Aes Sedai that Moiraine met up with to get some information from in the books. But I don't know. I don't know how they're going to play that, but we do know she's going to Kyrienen. We do know she will be there. So the pictures that we saw a long time ago now, the stills from some of the teasers where Rand is holding up a torch kind of in the darkness. Now, in the background, we thought it was Moiraine and Lan. Now, I'm almost sure of that because probably them walking ways together. Either way, pretty exciting. And the fact that Rand's hiding from his friends because he's scared he's going to go mad and hurt them, right in line with his character and his storyline in the books, if not the exact same steps and the same things he did, right in line with what his character does. And we knew that Nynaeve and Egwene were going to go to the tower to learn the one power. We knew that was going to happen. And I've also known for quite some time that in the first couple of episodes we meet Egwene, or not Egwene, Elaine rather, played by Sierra Coveney, and Wayne and Elaine are on set in scenes together. So there's that. So we know we're going to get introduced to some of the royal family from Andor as well early on in the second season. Now, let's take a look at some of those photos that we have here. This one, first one, really, really, really good, but it's something we've seen kind of before. We've seen pictures of Matt Cawthon like this, played by Donald Finn in the second season, replacement for Barney Harris, who didn't quite finish the first season. He made it through 6 episodes and then show. But from all the things I've seen about Donald Finn, I think that he's going to make an absolutely amazing Matt Cawthon. He certainly can play the part, as we've seen in other things he's acted in. I've covered him extensively in his own videos before, so I won't get into that now. But everything I've seen on screen, even if you put the two Matts side by side, they're very similar looking. So the casual viewer who just watched the first season probably won't even notice the difference and change between Barney Harris and Donald Finn. Although if you rewatch the first season and get right into the second, maybe you would, but it'll be almost 2 years. So there will be that. There will be a lot of people who probably wouldn't notice the difference. But I think he's going to make an absolutely fantastic Matt. We have this. This is Moiraine, likely in Kyrienen. She's wearing a Kisara, that blue gem on her forehead that a lot of people kind of complained about in season 1 that she didn't really wear that much. But again, she's wearing it when she's in a more formal dress. And this certainly looks a little bit more formal for Moiraine. And it does appear to be in a city. So this could be Kyrienen that she's in right here, right now. But I do have to say the costuming for the series is absolutely beautiful. And I still like the fact that all the Aes Sedai are in their own colors. I wasn't really on board with it at the very first when we heard about it before season 1, but visually it makes a ton of sense. You get to see someone in a bright color on screen and go, hey, I know that's an Aes Sedai, and I know that is not just due to the ring with the colored stone, but due to what they're wearing. I know what faction they're, what Aja. So that's pretty neat. And then we have a picture of Madeline Madden here. I would say this is probably working in the kitchens in the tower. That's my guess here, which she did frequently. If you're not familiar with the story, I won't get into spoiling too much of it, but she did work in the kitchens of the tower a whole lot, and I would say this is likely where that's from. But it's really cool to see all of these different shots. Now I'm going to show you another shot here. I'm going to take myself off screen so we can revel in the glory of it, because it's an absolutely amazing shot. It does get some story bits away for season 2, I believe. So we're going to cut to that now. All right, so I wanted you guys to take a look at this photo, just full screen. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it gives us a whole lot of information about season 2, a whole lot of things to speculate on. None of it, of course, we're sure of, but it does give us a ton of information. And aside from that, I just think it's an absolutely gorgeous photo. Whoever set this one up, they did a really good job. I want to say this is probably my absolute favorite photo coming out of any of the season 2 production material, or promotional material, rather. It's absolutely amazing. All right, fantastic photo. Like I said, now we're going to break it down bit by bit. So the first thing I want to talk about here is Loial. Now, Loial is traveling with the Seanchan and this gentleman in the front here. This gentleman in the front in the first season was known as the Dark One. We all know, those of us who read the book series, that he is, in fact, Shamael, one of the Forsaken, who kind of portrayed himself as the Dark One. That's just the way it happened in the book series. Why would Loial be with these people? My guess is at some point or another during the second season, him and the people he's traveling with get captured by the Seanchan for whatever reason. We've seen a couple of different pictures of the Shienarans with Uno on his knees in front of some of the Seanchan. I'm thinking something absolutely terrible happens to the group that Loial is traveling with, and it might be the Shienarans for that matter, and that after they get captured by the Seanchan, everybody just kind of goes along with what they say, so it doesn't happen anymore. I guess, anyway. I think that's why he's here. Now, the gentleman in the front, like I said, Ferez, he is playing Shamael, and he is one of the Forsaken, which kind of leads credence to the fact that this character is probably High Lady Suroth. Now, High Lady Suroth in the book is a Dark Friend, and that's revealed fairly early on. However, and here's where it gets interesting. We don't know who's playing this character, nor do we know for sure that this is Suroth. This could be a completely different character for all we know. Now, there's been a whole lot of speculation online that this is Suroth, and there's been a whole lot of speculation that Kyrienen McAdams will be playing this particular character, and a lot of that's due to the fact that Geeky Airy put up a really, really good morph between her face and the face behind the mask on Twitter quite some time ago. So, either way, I think this is Kyrienen McAdams. I believe so, anyway. Character being Suroth makes sense if it's highlighted Suroth, considering all the Seanchan accoutrements, the fingernails, the costume, the mask. I think it's Suroth. I believe so. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it's possibly Suroth. Definitely a High Lady, because we have seen photos of Turok, High Lord Turok, with the same fingernails. So same rank-ish type thing within the Seanchan hierarchy. And I know some people are going to come at me and say, well, he was above her hierarchy when he came across the ocean. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty specifics, but she did take over as leader of the Return when he was killed. So they were close in rank. So I guess this is probably Suroth, most likely played by Kyrienen McAdams. And we have this character here. Now, 100% this is Jessica Boone, Guy Roberts' wife. You've seen Jessica Boone on social media during the filming of season 2 with the right half of her head shaved, and a lot of people were like, wow, she's one of the blood, she's going to be doing something, there's got to be something going on there, because we knew she was part of the show. Not sure which character she's playing, but what's interesting about this haircut, so right side of the head shaved, left side braided, that's Voice of the Throne, I do believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but I believe that haircut implies that they're the Voice of the Throne. And Suroth did have a voice in the book series Alwyn. Now, Alwyn was a Sojin, and her voice as well. Is Jessica Boone playing Alwyn? And maybe they're just kind of upgrading some of the stature of some of these characters and cutting out the middlemen or different people in between. I really don't know. I know that at least from some of the costumes and some of the things we're seeing in the haircuts, for sure, they're heavily leaning in on Seanchan culture. Are they going to keep everything 100% exactly the same as the books? I think likely not, mainly because there's so much, and there's so much very specific detail that has to be explained to people in the books, in behind the scenes, either during monologues or internal thought processes. They're not going to do that for the show. So I think they're going to kind of trim the fat, so to speak, on some of the Seanchan culture, but they're definitely keeping some of it, especially as Easter eggs for us book readers. So is this Alwyn? I want to know your thoughts down below who this character is. Pretty sure it's Jessica Boone. I mean, you can compare this photo here with her headshots and the haircut she had, as well as the hairstyle she had filming season 2. Pretty much a dead ringer. It's almost 100% her as far as I'm concerned. However, characters. A lot of people speculated at the time it was Suroth or someone else she's playing, but the Voice of the Throne's haircut. So your guess is as good as mine. I want to hear about it in the comments down below. All right, we get a magnificent shot of Daniel Henney as Lan on Mandarb. Really cool. I mean, they're upping the costumes even further for season 2, as far as I'm concerned. I really like this. I do still miss the fact that we're not getting the water cloaks. I do 100% miss that. But I think Daniel looks absolutely amazing in this shot. Can't even begin to speculate where this is or where it's filmed or what's going on with it, but I do know that it's an absolutely gorgeous shot. And then, of course, we have Zoe Robbins, who plays Nynaeve Elmira. She is in all in white here, and that appears to be in the exact same chamber that Rafe and Sarah did the interview or the Q&A with for JordanCon, which I heavily speculated in another video that would be the accepted testing chamber. I'm almost sure now. Seeing Nynaeve in white in this chamber, it's probably the accepted testing chamber. We're probably going to get to see the test for the accepted with Nynaeve in the second season. Really pumped and excited. And we have this. We've known for quite some time, or at least we speculated for quite some time, that Aviendha would be hooking up with Perrin in the second season, as in traveling together. And that she would probably replace another prominent Aiel that he rescues from a cage, and sort of take some of that storyline from that character to try to mesh them together. Now, we know the shots from Falma. That is 100% the set of Falma, both in the background and the stonework. Many videos and pictures of Falma. This is Falma. She is, Aviendha is veiled there, so she is currently fighting, and Perrin looks surprised and kind of standing there, which, again, probably happening if there's a fight going on, because Perrin is very conflicted through most of the series. think we're going to see that in the show as well. There's fights going on. He's not going to know what to do until he has to absolutely do something. Books. Either way, I think what we're going to see is a convergence of everybody at Falma near the end, or perhaps mid to end of the season. And I think Aviendha is going to be traveling with Perrin. Now, you're probably asking at this point, somebody who hasn't kept up with the channel for quite some time, or maybe isn't following the news as closely, why do we think Aviendha and Perrin are traveling together? Well, there was leaked audition scripts that seemed to speculate or seemed to imply that the two of them will be traveling together during the second season. Not be that's where that comes from. All right, and then we have this photo of Rand. He is all wrapped up in his cloak, looking very Jedi-like with the sword on his back. I do like it. He looks very pensive. He's not quite Darth Rand yet, but we're getting there. Like I said, I didn't go spoilers beyond the third book, so I'm not going to get into that. However, these photos all very immaculate, very beautiful. Like I said, if you haven't actually seen this article yet, I've left description box. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. Like I said, it does give us some new information. We know Moiraine's going to be in Kyrienen. We know that Rand is going to be hiding from his friends, which goes along with his character storylines in the books. And we've seen a whole lot of Seanchan, a whole lot of White Cloaks, a whole lot of Aiel so far. So I think Season 2 is going to be a much bigger ride than Season 1 was. And as far as finale, most of that was filmed, from what I'm hearing, without any real big problems at all, unlike Season 1. So I think Season 2 is going to come back with a bang, and it's going to be very impressive all the way through, right to the very end. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below on the article, what you think you're going to see in Season 2, what you think about some of these photos, and especially about the Seanchan characters. Who's Jessica Boone playing? Is that Suroth in the middle? And why are they standing with a Shamael? Let me know in the comments down below. If they're too spoilery and go beyond the 3 books, try to put a little bit of spoiler warning in, because people do read this too. Anyway, thank you so very much for sticking with me here to the very end. Here's to many more.